Hey book lovers, welcome back to my channel, R&R the Serial Reader. We're here, it's all about for the love of books. I'm your girl Ronnie and I'm bringing you my very first monthly book release video for January. Yes, you got that right. Each month I'll be giving you a rundown of the newest releases hitting the shelves. So whether you're looking to add to your TBR pile or you just want to know what's new, this video will be your go-to resource. There's a little bit of everything in this list, mostly Black authors because you know we have to uplift our voices. But I sprinkled in a few from non-Black authors too. And we've got all kind of genres: romance, urban fiction, historical fiction, fantasy, thrillers, you name it, it's in this video. Some I'm personally excited for, while others may not be my vibe. But this isn't just about me. It's about you and helping you find your next favorite book. So go ahead, grab your notepad, your Kindle, your iPad, whatever you need, and let's dive into these new releases. Oh, and don't forget, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button and subscribe so you'll never miss an update. January 1st, Dreams and Nightmares, Brashear's Story by Kennedy B. Kennedy B is a new to me author, and this is an urban fiction romance. I like the cover. The cover is what called me to this book. I don't know. I may not read all the synopsises. I may just give you like a quick run through. Some of them I might not know, but nevertheless, I want you to know what you're getting into. Not know what you're getting into, but kind of get an idea of maybe if this book is for you or not. So I'm going to give you some of it. Brashear has had a share of complications, and for the most part, he's sworn them off. That is until he lays his eyes on her in his uncle's bar while his toddler is toddlering. All right, so this is a single parent trope. Interesting. Kennedy B is a new to me author, and so I was curious, and so I added her. So let's see. January 2nd, Won't Keep You Waiting, book 1 of the Armani Sisters series by T. Lynn. Always want to call her Ty Lynn. It's T. Lynn. Beautiful, beautiful blue cover book. I love the blue cover books, by the way, if I haven't said it before. All right, so let's see what this book is about. Anario Anderson is a professional poker player who thrives on taking risks, except when it comes to love. Of course, when it comes to love. He's embraced the bachelor lifestyle and left serious relationship off the table. Of course. You're hurt. You're hurt, buddy. Okay. But everything changes when he meets China Armani, his daughter's intelligent, beautiful, and cautious teacher. Okay, sounds good. Sound like, you know, he has some baggage that he needs to get through. And here comes this well put together, smart lady that his daughter already loves. You already know where this is going. This is a single father. It's going to be a cute read. It says 243 pages, so cute and quick. Probably spicy as well. Looking forward to it. Also on January 2nd, this one is a mystery thriller suspense book, and it is If You Love Me by Kimberly Brown. 318 pages. Just a little bit over my threshold. 250 is my threshold. After that, I'll be like, come on, hurry up. Can we get to it? But anyway, 318, I can get past it. So this is really cool because I love a mystery thriller suspense. And Kimberly Brown is a Black author, so that makes it even more better. Let's see what she's talking about here. Ebony, child, me and these names. Ebony Lewis knows this all too well. A case of mistaken identity has stolen 10 years of her life. Oh, yes, I remember reading this. When the opportunity arises, Ebony jumps at a chance to escape once and for all. Clueless to her surroundings, she sets out to find her way back home with dreams of reuniting with her family being her motivation. Life as she knew it has changed. Tyrion Lewis has lost the love of his life. A routine trip to the grocery store left him a heartbroken single father with a 6-month-old. Oh no. The hope that his wife would be returned to him slowly begins to die. 10 years later, he's found new hope for a happy future. That is, woo! I love these type of stories. Cause you already know what's gonna happen. Really? Looking forward to that one. Also, in January 2nd, a novella meant to be yours by Sin. So Sin is a new to me author. I put her on the list because, as you can see, this cover is so beautiful. That beautiful green. And it kind of reminds me of the cover from Losing Control. So that's what really drew me in. And I was like, I am adding this to the list. It's a second chance romance, and it has a one night stand and a single parent. What's up with all these single parent books? A single parent book, and also, of course, secrets. So I'm definitely hyped to get into this book. Also on January 2nd, we have Carrington. This is the 6th book in the series, The Protector's Book by B. Love. It's also a novella. This one is an arranged marriage. Ooh! Crime mafia family, and I smell a little bit of mystery and suspense. I read the synopsis beforehand. I'm not like most of you guys. No, don't read the synopsis. No, I don't want to know the truth. No, don't tell me the timeline. No, don't tell me if it's a book. Oh my god, I'm just messing with y'all. No, really, me hearing the synopsis doesn't bother me one bit because most of the time my brain is shot. I done forgot what I read. And if I follow other content creators, other booktubers, and they're talking about a book, they're going over a review of a book, most likely I'll forget what they said. Yeah, I know everybody's different, but hey, who channel is this? R&R, the serial reader, that's who. I don't know if these are standalones or they follow in sequence, but regardless, whatever they are, I am going to start from book 1 because that's just something in me that I have to know what was in the previous books. Well, I'm kind of contradicting myself. Well, if it's in a series, yes. But if it's like another series, a sister series before it, nevertheless, this is an arranged marriage, dark mafia romance. You guys know I talked about this in my video, the BookTube newbie tag, where I said dark mafia romance is at the top of my romance type genres or subgenres that I love to read. Oh, so do you guys see? I have on new specs. It's official now. These are not just for looks. These are prescription glasses. I cannot see anymore. I'm at that age now where old age is kicking my butt. But yeah, what you guys think? What do you guys think of my specs? I think I look just like my sister. Anytime I put on glasses, I think that I look like my sister now. Hey T, don't be looking like now. Hey boo. Even when I used to wear my blue blocking glasses and I put them on immediately, I was like, I look like my sister T. Just so funny because we look nothing alike, right? I'm light skinned, she's brown skinned. Back in the day, I had long hair, she had short hair. Now her hair is long because she has her dreads or whatever. It's flowing. I got the flat butt. She got the big butt. Like, we were completely opposite, you know? But anyway, what you think? All right, so like I said, this is arranged marriage, crime, mafia, family, and I do smell mystery and suspense because I did read the synopsis. And you know, mystery and suspense, we're also going to get some lies and deceit. So looking forward to getting into this series and getting into that book. January 3rd, In Love with a Billionaire, Thug Yaz and Carly by Beliza. Beliza is a new to me author. This is also a novella, 174 pages. It looked good. They are an attractive couple on the cover. Yeah, so I was curious. You know, I love a billionaire romance. It had two of my favorite words, billionaire and thug. What a combination. So I definitely wanted to add this on the January release list. Maybe one of you might be interested in it. Okay, January 5th, Be Love presents Phase by James P. I mean, do you see this cover? Do you see this man? Okay. Woo! Fine. Listen, I immediately, when I saw the cover to this book, there was no hesitation. I didn't even care what it was about. I immediately added, yep, you going on this list too, because I'm definitely going to get into this book. I do know it is a sports romance. I'm not too sure how I feel about sport romances yet. I haven't read too many. I think I may have read one. Maybe one. And it was okay. But the female was the athlete and not the male. So it was so for me. But anyway, that man cool to me. Plus the green. Ooh, it's just so gorgeous. Yeah. Boxing. I didn't even see that. He's a boxer. That is the only sport I love to watch is boxing. How did I overlook? Because I was too busy in his face, looking at his face. And you see his jewels? Yeah, buddy. You see those tattoos? Yeah, buddy. Jason's grades priorities were God. We love a man who loved God and put God as a priority. Family and boxing. In that order. Listen, if the cover didn't convince you, that first sentence alone should convince you to put this on your TBR list. I'm certainly putting this on my TBR list for sure. I don't even know what it's about. All right, now we get into something a little bit different, and this is going to be released on January 6th, and it is Vicky's Victory, Malt Shop Milestones Book 1 by Nadine C. Kells, who is also a new to me author. This book is a YA historical fiction. Yeah, because it was so different, that's why I added it to the list. I don't know if I'm going to put it on my TBR list, but I definitely wanted to put it out there to you guys who are into YA and also have a love for historical fiction. I have a love for historical fiction, not so much YAs. They're not at the top of my list. I would read them, but they're not my favorite. So it's up for debate if I'm gonna put this on my TBR. But maybe you guys might do. Hope you like it. Also on January 6th, I don't know how many of you knew this, but I surely didn't. Elle Kaysen dropped another series, and it is There's Still Beauty in Her Street Love, Her Fallen Angel. It's a 2-book series, and it's the spinoff to The Street Love, A Texas Tale, which I still have not gotten to yet. That is a 3-book series. It's on my TBR. It's been there since last year. And now she had the nerve to drop another series that I'm going to have to quickly add, and hopefully I get to soon. We all know Elle Kaysen from Demon's Dream. She threw down in that book. We love it. We still talk about it. It will never ever leave us. So I am definitely looking forward to getting into her other series and exploring Elle some more. Also on January 6th, child, anything that has the word salacious in the title, it's an immediate ad. And so this title is Salacious Entrapment. Oh, you know that's going to be a messy, drama-filled book. And this is by a new to me author. Her name is Rose Dior. Let me see what this synopsis says. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I mean, there you go. But that term didn't ring true for Harlem Daniels. Oh, I love that name. After so many failed attempts at being in a relationship, she was okay with spending a weekend in Vegas and never being thought of again. However, we love that word, however. That first night turns into something she least expected. Okay, a one-night stand? Love it. Definitely will be adding this. All right, so we're changing directions again. This release is going to be on January 7th. We have The Unexpected Diva, captivating biographical fiction featuring a forgotten African American star by Tiffany L. Warren, also a new to me author. So you guys know I love historical fiction, and to have this be a biographical historical fiction about an African American star. I'm not familiar with Eliza. It's about we discover Eliza's voice and legacy. So I'm definitely intrigued. A Black woman born enslaved who performed both sides of the Atlantic in the years before and during the Civil War. Eliza Greenfield will blaze her own path with a voice that no listener will ever forget. Right there, her story sounds so intriguing. To have this be a biographical / historical fiction, I'm just really excited to get into this book. So also on January 7th, listen, I discovered this author in December. So it's not that I discovered this author because I was familiar with this author, but I just hadn't had a chance to read any of her work until December. And I read 2 of her books. No, one in December and one in January. I didn't get to talk to you guys about it, but they were good. They were good. I don't know if I'm going to do a wrap up because I just read too many books. I will be here forever trying to go over all the books I read. So we'll see, but I'll find a way to bring those stories to you. But it was a 2-book series, and one was a holiday read, and the second one was not a holiday read. But nevertheless, I really loved it. I think I love book 2 more because we got more meat out of the book. The first one was a novella, so it was a little bit shorter. But the series is called Holiday Mayhem Series. Yep, the Holiday Mayhem Series by Meek Mills. And like I said, I really enjoyed Meek's books, that 2-book series. So when I forever saw that she was releasing this book, I was like, yep, I am adding. I also have another book or a couple of books from Meek on my TBR. I just haven't gotten to them, but I definitely will. She is definitely one of my priority authors that I want to get into for 2025. But anyway, getting back to new releases, she dropped Drew, the Silent Killer. And this is actually book 2 of her 2-book series, The Bordeaux Mafia. Can you see why I added it? We here, Neek, we here. Yeah. Mafia. And on top of that, you're one of the authors that I really wanted to dive in into their catalog this year. So that's why this book is on this list. After locating the missing best friend of his sister-in-law, Bridget, the two quickly form a bond and become a staple in each other's lives. And he vows to find everyone who hurt her and ensures their undoing. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. A man that will blow everything down. He is the big bad wolf because he's trying to protect and he going give this girl justice. Yeah. Okay. Apparently he's a criminal lawyer. He's a corporate and criminal lawyer by profession. I love it when you could just switch up. That, you know what I'm saying? 1 minute you a thug, the next minute you a businessman. Sounds like Secrets. You got the mafia element in there. So you know they about their business. It's a family business. You know he's not about to play. Plus he has the law on his side. He knows the law. He about to burn everything down. Normally mild-mannered and light-hearted, when Jules becomes Boko, there isn't a soul safe enough to cross him. While the most feared look their victims in the eye, Boko can assure you a painful demise from miles away. The only thing scarier than what you can't see is what you don't know. They have awakened the silent killer. Like, how you a silent killer and a professional? Like, how that work? All right, think about Demon from Demon's Dream. This ninja was not a professional because he was loony. So he knew he couldn't be out in the world socializing with people because he was off his racket. How you gonna be off your racket? You gonna be killing people from left to right. If you kill a silent killer like that, that means you off your racket. You can't be a professional because you gotta socialize with people out there in the world. You're gonna have to engage with them. I don't know how that's gonna work. I was hyped for a minute until I read that piece. Anyway, looking forward to getting into that one as well. January 8th, Excuse Me While I Love You by Morgan Rose. Morgan is also a new to me author, and this seems like a beautiful romance. It's a single parent romance, and based on a synopsis, it's all about timing. I love those type of books. Like, timing means everything. There was another book that I read and it was all about the timing. A Love Letter to Whiskey. I love that book by Candy Steiner. That book was all about timing too, and it just made for the perfect romance book. So I'm hoping this one, I mean, I know Candy is non-black and Morgan is black, but I'm hoping to get the same vibe somewhere, somehow, some way. Also released on January 8th, Coming Home for Love by Monet Nicole. Sometimes going with the flow can leave you dealing with permanent consequences. When a study session between Winter and Osiris, Osiris, quickly turns into a whirlwind of passion. Winter is left to deal with the aftermath when O abruptly leaves without so much as a goodbye. Oh, naughty. Another book released on January 8th is The Bel Air Cartel, The Ink by Latoya Nicole. Also, another new to me author. I just love this world. I love that I'm being exposed to new authors. This is a multi-character book, age gap trope, arranged marriage with secrets, and also a war is brewing. They have all the components that I love in a dark mafia book. Ow! January 9th, we have One Chill Millionaire 2. This is book 2 of the 2-book series One Chill Millionaire by Black Lavish. I already know when I say ow that why I put this on the list. Yeah, the cover. Woo! He looked like Santa Claus for 2025, right? Like he giving off, what is that fur? He got on a fur hat. Look at that nice, beautiful beard. Them dreamy bedroom eyes. Yeah, buddy. I have no idea what this book is about. They say don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, not in our world. Also, on January 9th, we have Jabari, The Crescent Falls Royals by Charity Shanae. Yeah, I mean, didn't Charity just drop a book in December? A Christmas book, right? Yeah, because I read it. That's right, I read it. Let's see what Jabari is all about, because I see that he has a ball in his hand, so it's giving off a sports romance. But let's read the synopsis. When it comes to Jabari Hicks, competition is non-existent. With a keen focus on securing a championship ring, Jabari's only competition is himself. Oh, so he cocky. On the court, he is deadly, but off the court, he's a protector and a lord. He's fierce and loyal. Oh, he's a bad boy. Love it. So this one is a little bit different, and it's being released on January 10th. And the title is, we have More Than Friends, a Second Chance Friends to Lovers romance by another new to me author, Reese Ryan. This is actually the 3rd book in a 3-book series, the Love and Music Suite, or Suit book. It's a second chance romance. I love second chance romance, and so thought it'd be great not just to add to the January's release list, but also add it to my TBR. It does have a couple of topics, quite a few different topics throughout. Neurodevelopment disorders. I guess it addresses ADHD, the prison and justice system. Physical abuse is described in this book. So yeah, I'm curious to see what this book is about, especially with the mental health and the developmental delays. We also have, releasing on January 10th, Save Room for Us, the 7th book in the Crenshaw Kings book by Siobhan Latrice. Listen, I've been trying to get to this series since last year, and these authors keep dropping these books. I cannot catch up. Okay, I cannot catch up. I am dying to get into this series, and every time I turn around, there's another one coming out. So I believe that Siobhan mentioned that this is a standalone, or was that someone else's? I don't know. Anastasia Chase has always had her life perfectly planned out, but what she didn't plan for was to be wrapped up with her current man, Cedric. What started out as a potential fairy tale romance quickly changed to the opposite, leaving Anastasia to become a woman she barely recognizes. Okay, so that's giving me a hint of DV, maybe, when it's saying it like that, or maybe he's a cheater. Either one. In this romance filled with black love and a few spilled secrets, you will observe two souls that have been tethered. Ooh, I like that. Together since the first time they locked eyes. Definitely, I want to get into this book, but I gotta read the others. But I still am excited. Okay, so this next one that's going to be released on January 10th, I'm definitely excited for. It's a little bit different, and it is Judgments of Fire and Desire. Oh, we rhyming over here, by Monica Walters. Have I read? Have I? No, I have not read a book by Monica, but I have a lot of books of hers on my TBR. This one is a romantic action, adventure, suspense, action, fiction, thriller, and suspense. Another January 10th release, Forever His Favorite by Sheree Lewis. It says here, Devin is a ruthless mob boss with a reputation for quick justice. Finds himself in a dangerous game when another Don, Saban, defaults on a loan. Hungry for revenge and tired of being disrespected, Devin decides that time is not on his side. He takes matters into his own hands. Okay. I didn't realize this was a mafia one. I didn't even read the synopsis for this one before I added it. So this was good. We love mafia crime romance. Boom. January 13th, Nobody Loves Me Like You Do by Takara. You know, I've been hearing Takara's name around these book streets, and she's definitely an author that I want to get into for 2025. So this is good that she has a new book dropping, because I definitely want to get into her catalog and see what she's about. But I'm not sure. What is this one about? So Eve has a thriving career, loving friends, and a family with a picture perfect relationship, or so she thought. I just read, yeah, it was Neek Mills. You thought that was a picture perfect relationship. That was until she received a message from her longtime boyfriend, Adrian, shattering whatever dream she had for the two. Saint is all about his money and has little room for anything that doesn't include that or his 3-year-old son. What is up with these single parent stories? Like, they coming through in 2025. All right. So somehow, some way, these two are going to meet up. Sparks are going to fly. Drama is going to happen. Definitely want to get into this story. All right, this one was a last minute find. I was like, what the heck? I didn't know she released a book. I saw this book on her website and I thought it was an old book or an old series. But lo and behold, when I was doing my research, I was like, I got to find some books for my book lovers. I got to find some books. I got to find some releases for my book lovers. I came across this series and I put it on there so fast and it's on my TBR list right now because I am going to get into this. And so these is a 2-book series that was released. One came out January 10th, one came out January 11th. And it is called Demi and Charlie, a 2-book box series by Ashley Antoinette. Can you believe she released a 2-book series? Now, granted, she still have us just waiting with our hands out for Butterfly 6. Like, we want to wrap this series up. But in the meantime, let's get into that new series. This one sounds really good. So book 1 is Birds in the Sky, Demi and Charlie. Book 2 is Any Given Day, Every Effing Night, and it is a contemporary literature and fiction. That's what is categorized. All right, so Demi and Charlie are kismet lovers whose chance meeting sets them down the path of an illicit affair. We love words like salacious, illicit, tantalizing. Their love is electric, magnetic, and to outsiders, toxic. But they are determined to endure all to be together. Yeah, so you know we're going to get messy. We're probably going to have our mouths open. Our drawers are going to be dropping because she's going to have us stuck in our seat. Okay, so this one, I have seen a few booktubers mention this book. I think they are, not only is it a release for them, but it's an anticipated read for them. They are excited for it. This one is not really up my alley, but nevertheless, like I said earlier, it's not just about me, it's about you, and maybe you might be interested in this book. The release date is January 14th, and that is The Death of the Author by Naditi Okafor. This is a science fiction, crime, mystery, post-apocalyptic read, okay? This book is 672 pages. Definitely not my genre. And even if I was open to it, the 672 just turned me off. But nevertheless, it might be something for you. Another popular one that's a lot of booktubers have been talking about, and it is Isaac's Song, a novel by Daniel Black. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Daniel Black or this book, this is the second book to, this is the follow-up book, because I don't think it's a series. This is a follow-up book to Don't Cry for Me, which is about Isaac's father. And so the follow-up book, like I said, is Isaac's story. So if you're thinking about reading it, you probably want to read Don't Cry for Me first, which is what I plan on doing. And then I will get into Isaac's story. I've heard nothing but good things about the first book, and people are really anticipating getting into the follow-up read about Isaac. All right, so another January 14th release is, this is a historical fiction, and it was a little bit different. And so it did definitely caught my attention, and so I added it very quickly, and I definitely want to get into it, and it is Boys by Roger Newman. Again, as I mentioned, it's a historical fiction, and actually it's about two young boys. One boy by the name of Alex, his family was killed by the Ku Klux Klan during the Great Depression. Alex sought refuge in a barn nearby a dairy farm or something to that nature. There was a family who owned the dairy shop. They had a son named Pete. They wind up taking in Alex, and they raised the boys together. The boys see each other as brothers growing up. As they grow up, they have to navigate the Jim Crow racial intolerance of the rural South. And as you can imagine, that is a challenge because Pete is white and Alex is black. So yeah, and there's a lot more that goes into the story, not just in their childhood. So I was like, yep, I'm adding this. This looks like something that I will definitely, I'm going to be surprised and shocked by. I think there's a little bit of mystery in it, because one of the boys have to figure something out, like what happened to the other one. So definitely a book that I am trying to get into. All right, another January 14th. This one is a novella, and when I say novella, it's very quick. It's 46 pages, and it is This Time Next Year by Tina Martin. Tina Martin is a new to me author, but I have a couple of her books on my shelf. I bought some books from her either December or January. So eventually I'll be getting into that. But this is another one. It's a quick read. It looks good. He looks good. And so I'm going to read it. And this one is by a non-Black author. and it is called Good Girl, a novel by Aria Aber. Aria is a new to me author, but the premise of her book was very interesting to me. And so that's why I wanted to put it on the list. And it's on my TBR. So let me read the synopsis. Maybe you might be into this as well if you like diverse read. In Berlin's artistic underground, where techno and drugs fill warehouses, still pockmarked by the wars of the 20th century, 19-year-old Neela at last finds her tribe. Born in Germany to Afghan parents, raised in public housing. That was the key thing right there that pulled me in. She was raised in the public housing. I was like, I didn't know people outside my race grew up in public housing. They were aware of public housing. I thought it was only for my people only. But see, ignorance, you see what ignorance does? Sometimes it makes you bliss. You don't need to be bliss, okay? You need to be knowledgeable and know what's going on. I'm lecturing myself, not you guys, me. At any rate, she was raised in public housing, graffitied with swastikas, drawn to philosophy and photography and sex. Neela has spent her adolescence disappointing her family while searching for her voice as a young woman and artist. So I'm very curious. There's a lot more in the synopsis where it leads to, she's going to meet someone. It's going to expose her to even more things. She's going to have to kind of maneuver and figure out life. It's not going to be easy. She's going to come across some trouble. And so I want to read it. It's I believe it coined it as a coming of age sort of sense book. So it's on the list. Boy, we have a lot of books releasing on January 14th. Another one, Unlucky You by Casey Mills. I don't know what this one is about. Yeah, by the cover, it kind of gives off, it's like a holiday book for St. Patrick's Day. When you give your heart to someone, the last thing you expect is to have it ripped out of your chest. One night, another one night stand, and one bad decision create a lifetime of regrets. When Grant loses the one woman he was willing to risk it all for. This sounds so much more. This is way beyond St. Patrick's Day. And what did he risk it all for? Inquiring minds want to know. We are still on January 14th. The next release is The Queen's Spade by Sarah Raleigh. This is a YA historical thriller. It is inspired by true life events. You have revenge, romance, and twisted secrets take center stage in Victorian England's royal court when Sally, a kidnapped African princess and goddaughter to Queen Victoria, plots to take down the monarchy that stole her from her homeland. The only reservation that I have, like I mentioned before, is that YA stories don't really stick to me too well. And so I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to really put this on my TBR. But as usual, I'm thinking about you guys. But there may be someone out there that loves a YA, loves revenge, and have romance mixed in it. I love those things too. YA is the problem. We'll see. All right, so new day. January 15th, we have a fake engagement with a billionaire from The Billionaire Row by Stephanie Nicole Norris. If you caught my last video on my December wrap-up, you know that I read the 4th book in the Billionaire Row series by Stephanie Nicole Norris. It was something billionaire. I forget the title, but the two friends were best friends. So Best Friends to Love a Romance. I enjoyed it. It was cute. I think this one is going to be a good one too. We're moving on. January 16th. We have Making Her Mine. This is book 2 in the Just Mine series, and this is by Claire Brown. Claire Brown is a new to me author, but I've had my eye on her books. Her book 1, which is Evan and Justina. They have a passionate love affair, a passionate journey, and I'm curious. I want to get into it. She released the book 1 in 2024, and here's a quote from book 2. Angel, it's you and me against the world. Cry if you need to. Fight me if you need to. Hell, stab me if that damn well please you. But don't push me away. Life without you is not worth living. Ow. Next up, January 17th. You guys know this was the author who turned me out to reading. So to see her release a book, so excited. If you caught my booktube newbie tag video, you know that Penelope Sky is an auto-buy author for me. She is releasing The Butcher, The Baker, The Candlestick Maker. And the series is the Fifth Republic series. And it's a 3-book series. Yes, it is a 3-book series. Listen, this is going to be an enemies to lovers romance, which I think is Penelope's specialty. And of course, this is the common thread in a dark mafia romance. So I think she does it well. She did it well with Vanessa and Bones. I mean, they were the ultimate enemies to lovers. Like, they had every reason to hate each other, but yet, woo! They were just too hot. I'm going to read the synopsis. I found out my husband of 3 years had cheated on me, and his mistress is the one who told me because he didn't have the balls to do it himself. See? When she have these characters talking like that, she sound like Vanessa. Vanessa was spunky. She was spicy. She said whatever she needed to say. She did not care. I just want him as an antidepressant, but he wants me all to himself. I just got my heart ripped out of my chest, so I want something easy, no strings attached. But he wants all the strings because he's hooked. I don't get much of a say in the matter, and that's not surprising when I learn why. Because he's the butcher, the crime lord of all crime lords, the boss that overshadows all of Paris. That makes everyone abide by his rules or pay. And now I'm his. I think one of the reasons why I continue to read Penelope's book, yes, I think she has a formula. She knows the formula. She does not stray from that formula. I'm okay with that because every time I read her books, I'm satisfied. I'm not bored. I'm not like, what is this? What is that? I'm not picking it apart. So that's why I continue to read her books. But I think the other reason is that I'm hoping that we get that same dynamic, that same heat as we got with Vanessa and Bones in the Lingerie series. And so that's why I keep reading it, because I'm looking for those characters. I'm looking for that passion. I'm looking for that action. I'm looking for that spice. I'm looking for that family dynamic. I'm looking for what I found in the original series. So let's see if the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker can hold its own in this new series. Moving on, another book released on January 17th, and this also a lot of booktubers have mentioned in their book releases, and that is The New Internationals by David Wright Faladi, Falaladi, Falalalala. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. This is a diverse historical fiction novel of post-war Paris that interweaves a coming-of-age story and a cross-cultural romance. Very interesting. I'm curious. I love diverse reads. I think the Age of Vice was the most diverse read that I read, and that was back in 2023. Although I did reread it again this year. Well, it started out in 2024 and I finished it in 2025. Yeah, so I'm always open to diverse reads. In addition, it's a historical fiction, so can't go wrong with that. Another January 17th release is The Wind on Her Tongue, a novel by Anita Kopas or Kopat. You know what's the funny thing is when I'm reading in my mind, I feel like I'm reading right. Reading these words correctly. But when I read out loud, whoa. Anita Kopax. There you go. This is book 2 in Anita's trilogy, Daughter of Three Waters. Born in Cuba, Oya has inherited otherworldly powers from her Yoruba Orisha lineage. While Yemaya is known for her healing abilities, Oya's influence over the storm proves to be destructive, posing a threat to her mother and the island's safety. So this is a historical fantasy folklore book. You know what? I've never read a folklore. I should say that. I just don't have any interest at this point. That might change in the future. If you are a fan of Children of the Blood and Bone and Black Sun, this might be a book for you. We're still on January 17th, and this release is Catching Feelings by La Jill Hunt, another new to me author. This book is about 3 siblings, 3 lives, and 1 quest for true love, and a whole lot of drama in between. Once I read that, I knew that this was a book that I was going to be adding on to my TBR. Another release, Power of Persuasion by Stacey Abrams. It says that she's writing as Selena Montgomery. I don't know. Is that a character from one of her other books? I do have Stacey Abrams books on my TBR. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I don't know. Maybe perhaps that's a character and she's saying that she's writing as that person from the book, or this is just her pen name for this book. I don't know. You guys tell me. You might know better. But Power of Persuasion is a romantic suspense. I love romantic suspenses. All right, we are still on January 17th, and the next release is The Treacherous Wife by Sandra, a new to me author. So in this fast-paced, suspense-fueled novel, Arizona's most decorated detective finds a spectacular second chance at love. Okay, I like that. But when he starts digging into the most lethal case of his career, his future takes a shocking turn. Oh, okay. I like that too. What do you guys think? Is this one for you? We are still on January 17th. Whoa. Next release is Empress Creed by Taris Marie, a new to me author. This book is a science fiction crime and mystery book. I was drawn to this book by its cover. It was really different and it gave off historical. Although it did not say it was historical, I feel like the cover and the synopsis, the fact that the timeline is 1930s, is historical. Did maybe listen, I don't know everything. Just because the timeline is the past, does it mean that is considered a historical fiction, or is it a historical fiction because the timeline, 1, and 2, because they add in some elements from the past to make it historical? Is that what it is? Because again, it says 1930s is the timeline here. And this picture that I'm looking at definitely makes me feel like it is a historical fiction. But let's read the synopsis. Empress reigns as 1930 Chicago's cunning queenpin. Yet sultry Dulce Ella Monroe still longs for freedom from oppression her criminal empire provides. But when rivals threaten all that the influential and glamorous Empress built, her last hope of defense walks through the door in sharpshooting ex-lover Snipes Creed, now a foe for hire, bound to the enemy. I like that premise. Okay. Yeah. This is going on my TBR list. Finally, a new date, January 18th. Whoa! You know, sometimes these authors are so ridiculous because the way they drop books, it makes absolutely no sense. This author has been dropping book. I feel like she's been dropping 2 books a month. That's what I feel. I have yet to get into her series that everyone keeps talking about. I feel so overwhelmed. I don't even know when I'm going to get to that series. And the author that I'm talking about is jeff-kaale. Yes, she dropped another book. And this book has nothing to do with the series that all of you guys have been talking about. The Compone, the Capri, the Delgado fam. Like, no, this is a complete, as a matter of fact, is this a series? I don't know if this is a series, but I feel like it will be. And it is called Qasim. Do you see him? King Inferno. Do you see him? You have the nerve to look like that, sir, and have a helmet on your head? How dare you? Yes, so I don't know if this is a part of a series. It says book 1 of 1. You know who did that to me? And they have a book 2. Alexandria House, Lilith, the 3 Kings. She put book 1 of 1. So I'm like, all right, we only gonna have 1 book. Homegirl, although she didn't release it to us in the public, she only released it to her fans, her Patreon, her subscribers. There's a book 2. I'm still waiting for her to open that up to the public because I want to read about the sister, the badass sister. Okay, can't remember her name, but anyway. So y'all see this, right? Y'all know this was quickly being added to my TBR. And I feel like I'm going to read this first because, like I said, trying to get to her Capone, I'm just overwhelmed. And the way she keep dropping, matter of fact, she has some, we'll talk about that in the upcoming book releases, the future months. But she's still releasing books. I did read the synopsis before. And not just looking at him, the cover, but reading the synopsis, I was like, yeah, you definitely getting at it. I knew I wanted her since the first time I saw her at the kitchen counter sobbing. I could see the pain in her eyes, and I knew she had never been loved right. Okay, now, I like that. She probably never had someone console or love her the way that I knew I would. I couldn't love her then. What? My heart wouldn't allow me to. What? What? Knowing that everything or everyone that loves me ends up leaving this earth. Really? Really, Qasim? Stop playing. I love Qasim Inferno. Okay. I want to love him. All right. Heal him. Girl, be careful with that healing stuff. And be everything he never knew he needed. I've never been afraid of going after what I want. I hear that. Including the things that were bad for me. Girl. With Qasim Inferno, I can see my entire future in his eyes, and it excited me. A man as strong and as hard as him, he needed the soft and gentle and crazy. I wanted to be that for him. Don't be crazy, girl. Don't be crazy. Be his calm, be his peace, not the psycho. Like, come on. Yeah, yeah. These two, they're going to be something. Still on January 18th, we have Mavin by Tatum James. I've seen her name. I don't know if I've heard her name, but I've seen her name come up a couple of times. And I was like, Tatum, I'm gonna check you out. And so this one, I like this cover. He looks good. He has little freckles on his face. Nice little beard action going on, thick eyebrows. Ooh, I didn't notice a tattoo on his hand. Yeah, buddy. All right. So since his mother's death and his brother's imprisonment, oh, okay. Maven Gold has been in a vicious cycle of sleeping with, oh my God. I mean, can we not get a womanizer? Why he gotta sleep with every woman to numb his pain? Like, why? Just express yourself the right way. Why can't you communicate? He frequently goes to local sex clubs that gives him access to various flavors. Whoa, he has a big appetite. When a chance encounter with a blast from the past arouses more than his libido, he vows to make her his. Okay, I like that. I like that. That means this is a second chance romance. Okay. And it is going to be spicy or erotic, maybe BDSM. Listen, there's more to the story. I'm not going to read it out loud to you guys. I read it to myself. There's more to the story. And I think this is going to be so good. Can't wait to get into it. June 19th, At War with Love by Maya, a new to me author. This one is about Harmony and Warren. You have two people who are running from their past. And of course, if you have two people running from their past, they're going to run right into each other. Warren is a different type of guy. He's a cowboy. He's a rancher. He's a retired veteran. So he's very interesting. And I like that. So it kind of gives me the sense of a cowboy romance, or if not a cowboy romance, then possibly a small town romance, which I love small town romances. I just love the coziness of it. I love the small community and everybody in your business, but then there's a secret lurking somewhere and you're trying to figure it out, sort of thing. Hey. So looking forward to reading this one. Another last minute find that I'm so excited, because when this author writes, she writes the most insane characters. The release date is January 20th, and the name of the book is called, of course, Unhinged by Octavia Grant. Listen, Octavia has perfected writing unhinged, institutionalized, insane characters. You know this is going to be one of those. The title itself says Unhinged. That's all I need to know. I'm going to absolutely read this book. I only read one book. I only read one book, and I'm talking like I know her whole catalog. But I do have her other books on my TBR. I definitely have to get into this year, Pregnant by My Daughter's Boyfriend. Did you hear what I said? Pregnant by My Daughter's Boyfriend. Crazy. Okay, we're moving along. We're getting there. January 21st. This one is actually a Christian mystery suspense romance, and it's titled The Three Queens by C.N. Phillips, who is also a new to me author. It's about three women who are bound by blood to do whatever it takes to stay afloat and to keep each other alive. That's all I needed to know. For a Christian book, it sounds like it has a lot of drama, a lot of lies and deceit. So curiosity did strike me with this one, just for that description alone. I'm absolutely curious. Okay, so another book for January 21st, and this author is not a new to me author. I have read at least two of her books, I believe, and I enjoyed both of her books. And this book is titled Back in Blood by Natisha Raynor. So let me read the synopsis. Capri Towns is a loving father and respected businessman. He left the streets long ago in an effort to be a better man. Life is good with flourishing businesses, a fiance, and a best friend by his side. You know what? I'm going to stop reading. Right there, already know. Already know. Yeah. And y'all wonder why good men go bad. Yeah. Already know. You ain't got to tell. I ain't got to read. I ain't, like I said, got to read no more. Because I already know. It says, just when he thinks things can't get any worse, they do. Capri is forever change, and it's not for the better. I said that. The only thing that keeps him going is the need to seek revenge. Oh, that's what this is about? Capri is coming for everyone that hurt him. Oh, Lord. And he doesn't care if he has to get it back in what? In blood? Oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Oh, no. What is this? What is this? Let me look it up. I don't know. Does it sound like it comes off a little mafia-ish or dark? Well, it comes off not mafia-ish. It comes off dark romance-ish. Because if he's out for blood, listen, he gonna be banging down everybody's door, whatever. It coins it as African American romance, but the way he coming for people, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna like it. I know I'm gonna like it because I like Natisha's writing. So January 28th, another book that many of booktubers have been putting on their list, and that is Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkinson. Charmaine is the author of Black Cake, another book I have on my TBR, have yet to read it. I do want to get into books by Charmaine Wilkinson. This seems like a good addition. So not only is it a part of the January release, but it's going to be on my TBR list as well. Also for January 28th, we Rip the World Apart by Charlene Carr. Yeah, I'm very interested in this book. This is about a young woman who becomes pregnant, but she's unsure what she wants to do. And on top of that, she has other struggles because she doesn't really know her place in the world. She is biracial. She's half black, she's half white. When other people talked about it, I was like, yeah, I want to read it. So I added this on both lists, both January releases and my TBR. Maybe this is something for you. Another January 28th release is called The Crash by Frida McFadden, our girl Frida. Mystery, thriller, suspense. So in The Crash, we have a woman by the name of Tegan. She's apparently running from something in her past, but not just running from something in her past, she's also pregnant. I guess she's on her way somewhere, but she doesn't make it to this place that she's trying to get to. And I believe there's a snow blizzard. There's always some type of snow blizzard where her characters get caught up. Let's just say I read Never Lie, and that almost had the same premise too, where they got trapped in a house because of a snow blizzard. But anyway, I digress. So she gets caught in this snow blizzard and comes across a couple. That right there. I mean, she does have her twists and turns, but I kind of feel like I know what's going to happen. Okay, another book release for January 28th. The name of the book is called Loving Amir, a Dark Paranormal Romance by Tessa Stone. and it is actually the 4th book in a 4-book series, Fated Mates series. So for all you fantasy lovers, this is good. The Hunted Heir by Jana Bray, a new to me author. And this is a romantic legal drama, Christian mystery, and suspense romance. In this story, you have a fake engagement trope. We love fake engagements, right? And let's see. After a tragic loss, private investigator Nona Taylor swore off romantic entanglements and distanced herself from the world. Once a year on a New Year's Eve, she attends church to beg God for forgiveness, haunted by the guilt of driving her twin sister to death. Oh. Could be. It sounds like it has good potential. Just because it has the word Christian in it doesn't mean it's not going to be filled with drama. It's not going to keep you on your toes. The spice will probably be none thereof, but that's okay. We can read books like that every once in a while, right? Right. January 29th, we have Her Berry Spicy Valentine. This is book 2 in the 2-book series of Welcome to Bear Mountain. Now, this is, again, another fantasy book. This is not my type of read. But let me tell you, I think this is a book for you. Not only is it a spicy novella, it is a multicultural, interracial romance, and you have shape shifter bears, and it's let me push my glasses back, a poly romance. There you go for you spicy poly romance lovers, shape shifters, poly romance lovers. Moving on, January 30th, we have the 5th book in the 5-book series, Family Ties. And this is the prequel, Audra by Delaney Diamond. So this is also a single parent romance. Audra Kana doesn't have time for love. A devoted single mother, she's focused on raising her daughter and guarding her heart after a painful breakup. Everything changes when she meets a charming baseball player at a party and sparks ignite between them. Damon, there we go with this Damon stuff. The Flash, Forster, isn't looking for love either. With fame, fortune, and adoring fans clamoring for his attention, a relationship is the last thing on his mind until Audra. She's not impressed by his celebrity status, and her beauty and sense of humor throw him completely off his game. For this first time in his life, Damon is ready for a commitment. Okay. Sounds good. They said this is the prequel, right? So I can imagine that we get their story in the other books. This is the prequel. So I don't know. Do you read this first or do you read the others? I'm curious. How does that go? I don't know. We are on day January 31st. The name of the book is The Problem with Falling by Brittany Cherry. Brittany Cherry just has this way of how she writes that throws you for a loop. So I'm definitely excited to read this one. It's a multicultural and interracial romance, small town romance as well. Willow Kingsley is everything I don't need in my life. She's sunshine and chaos, dressed in a flower crown. She's a wildflower in a world I've spent years trying to keep simple and quiet. She talks too much, smiles too easily, and doesn't understand the meaning of personal space. Worst of all, she's staying in my house for the summer, turning my carefully guarded world upside down. So right there, you feel like, okay, it's going to be one of those type of romance. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Now when it comes to Brittany, Brittany is going to give you that, but she's going to give you this. This book is not just on my list for January book releases, but is also on my TBR. And that wraps up the list for January book releases. I hope you found something that caught your eye and inspired you to try something new. There's truly something for everyone. So listen, if you made it to the end of this video, why don't you drop a stack of books emoji in the comments so I know that you are a true book lover. And while you're there, let me know which release you're most excited for. Or maybe I missed something and you think I should know about it. Put all of that in the comment below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you'll be the first to know when February's book release video drops. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next month. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Remember, this channel is here to help you discover new books, new authors, and new genres. Until next time, happy reading, and I'll see you all in February. Bye, guys.